Meeting for the City Commission for Tuesday, October 28th will come to order. Please join me in silencing your cell phones. Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Perrine? Here. Commissioner McGurk?
Here.
Commissioner Ashley?
Here.
Vice Mayor Martin? Here. Mayor Cleveland?
Here.
Thank you.
And now Police Department Chaplain Sheila Turner will give the invocation. Please rise and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Let us bow our heads and hearts unto the Lord. Heavenly Father, we just thank you for tonight. We are assembling here with desperate needs in our hearts. And we're so reminded that you said that how can two walk together unless they're in agreement? So we ask, Lord, that you give us the right directions of approval for this beautiful city. And Lord, we just ask that you cover the people in the islands. The hurricanes is rapid, and we ask for protection. In Christ Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. And now I'd like to call up Trinity Borden, the 17-year-old junior from New Smyrna High School. She focuses on creativity and positivity and determination. She's playing volleyball and makes jewelry. She hopes to own a small business one day right here in New Smyrna.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Please be seated. Thank you, Trinity, for coming forward. Appreciate your contribution. Just a moment of personal privilege, if you don't mind. A couple things. CUDA football just took the district championship, so congratulations to New Smyrna High School. And on a slightly darker note, our hearts go out to the citizens of Jamaica, where Melissa has hit at hurricane strength, category 5, 185 miles an hour. Recent counts are 7 dead already. It will get worse as the bodies are found, so keep those folks in your prayers, please. Mr. Cowper, are there any changes to the agenda, please?
Yes, sir. I did want to alert you to one thing, item 10A, which is the second reading and public hearing for an ordinance pertaining to churches, houses of worship, and some requested zoning text amendments there. We have had a request from the applicant, Beachside Baptist, to continue that item for approximately 6 months to the first meeting in March, which would be the March 10th meeting. I recommend that you honor that request and that you do so maybe early in the agenda after, rather than waiting until that point on the agenda, so that if there are folks here, then we can not keep them late. But we've had a tremendous amount of input on that particular issue, and we've had some very good conversations and meetings, and I do believe that the staff has the ability to come up with some rules and regulations here that will benefit everybody in the community, protect the neighborhood, and respect the property of churches and other non-residential uses that are allowed in these districts. So again, that would be continuing to the March 10th meeting. That's the only change I have.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. We'll do that right after the awards, and we'll have the city attorney read that. And so for the benefit of the public, you may not understand the jargon. This topic, which is the Beachside Baptist expansion or regulations for setbacks and what have you that we've been discussing, will be taken up at another date. Be taken up 6 months hence in March at the March meeting. And so those that would like to have their remarks on the record, please come to that meeting so that your remarks can be heard at that time and be on the record. We won't be discussing that tonight. We will vote on that continuance here in a few minutes. If there are some on the dais that would like to keep it going tonight, we'll see, but my thought is that we'll take the city manager's recommendation to continue this, which means to postpone it. Thank you, sir. Those are all the changes, right?
Yes, sir.
Very good. All right, so on to announcements. In honor of Global Entrepreneur Month, we proudly recognize the innovators and visionaries who drive economic growth and strengthen our community. Today, we celebrate their contributions and reaffirm their commitment to fostering an environment where entrepreneurship thrives. At this time, I'd like to invite Samantha Bergeron, our CRA and Economic Development Director, to the podium to receive this proclamation in recognition of Global Entrepreneurship Month. Please join me in the commission, Sam. City of New Smyrna Beach, a proclamation observing November as Global Entrepreneurship Month, whereas entrepreneurship is a vital component to the local economy, fostering innovation, creativity, and job creation, and contributing significantly to the prosperity and well-being of New Smyrna Beach. And whereas small businesses and startups form the backbone of our community, embodying the spirit of independence, self-reliance, economic growth, while offering unique products and services that enhance the quality of life for the residents and visitors alike. And whereas the City of New Smyrna Beach recognizes the importance of supporting and empowering entrepreneurs by creating a business-friendly environment that encourages investments, nurtures innovation, and promotes opportunities for all. And whereas Economic Development Department, in collaboration with the Community Redevelopment Agency, is committed to providing resources, programs, and initiatives designed to help local entrepreneurs succeed, grow, and thrive. To help local entrepreneurs succeed, grow, and thrive, and it's essential to recognize and celebrate the achievements of entrepreneurship who take risk, invest in their communities, and inspire others. Whereas Entrepreneurship Month is an opportunity to celebrate the resilience, hard work, and dedication of entrepreneurs while highlighting the role of entrepreneurship in driving economic development, job creation, while pursuing their dreams. And whereas Global Entrepreneurship Week will take place from November 10th to the 16th with the theme of Together We Build during this week in New Smyrna Beach, along with the rest of Volusia County and other communities as we kick off the Volusia Innovation Challenge, a county-wide pitch challenge whereby the winner will be selected in March of 2026. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed in the City of New Smyrna Beach, we do hereby declare the month of November as Entrepreneurship Month and encourage all residents, businesses, and community leaders to support and participate in activities that honor and promote the entrepreneurial endeavors within our city. In witness whereof, I have here to set my hand and cause the seal of the City of New Smyrna Beach to be affixed this 28th day of October 2025, and I've signed it as your mayor. Congratulations, Sam.
Everybody can move together. Congratulations, Sam. You got a couple of
We're honored here tonight to celebrate a remarkable milestone, 75 years of dedicated service to the New Smyrna Beach Housing Authority. At this time, I invite the director, Teresa Pope, and her team to the podium to receive a proclamation in recognition of New Smyrna Beach Housing Authority's extraordinary legacy of commitment to our community. Please come forward, Teresa. City of New Smyrna Beach proclamation recognizing the New Smyrna Beach Housing Authority, 75 years of dedicated service. The New Smyrna Beach Housing Authority was established in 1950 by the City of New Smyrna Beach and has provided safe, affordable housing and essential services to the residents of New Smyrna Beach, Edgewater, and Oak Hill for 75 years. And whereas the Housing Authority has served seniors, low-income families, at-risk youth, and individuals experiencing homelessness throughout our housing programs, food services, community outreach, and improving the quality of life for thousands across our region. And whereas over the decade, the Housing Authority has made a significant and lasting contribution to our city, including the development of the Donnelly Homes and Green Lawn Terrace in 1954, the Live Oak Enterprise Homes in 1962, Greenbrier Apartments and NSB Apartments and Sandcastle Apartments in the later years, and most recently, Teresa's prized accomplishment, the Green Lawn Manor Senior Living in 2024, providing 80 new units for low-income seniors. And whereas our Housing Authority has demonstrated resilience and continued growth, even in the face of challenges such as Hurricane Ian, and looks ahead to the development of 60 additional housing units in 2025, funded by Volusia County. And whereas the Housing Authority's ongoing impact includes the opening of the Community Resource Center in 2017 and the development of affordable housing on Railroad Street, all part of its commitment to building a stronger, more inclusive community. And whereas the City of New Smyrna Beach honors and celebrates the Housing Authority's steadfast service, innovation, and compassion as it marks this milestone anniversary. Now, therefore, I, Freddie Cleveland, Mayor of the City of New Smyrna Beach, do hereby proclaim the year of 2025 as the year of celebration in honor of the 75th anniversary of the New Smyrna Beach Housing Authority, and encourage all residents to join in recognizing this important achievement and the many lives that have improved by the Housing Authority's service. In witness whereof, I have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of the City of New Smyrna Beach to be affixed this 28th day of October. Congratulations, ma'am. Phil, put them in front.
Just close the gaps. Okay. Okay. On me on three. 1, 2, 3. Congratulations.
Teresa, you want to say anything?
Thank you, everybody, for this amazing 75 years. I've only been with the agency 21 years, but I have with me today the chairman of my board, Ms. Judy Riker, and one of our newest board commissioners, Ms. Michelle Davis. And in the audience, I have my dedicated Section 8 HCV specialist, Ms. Michelle. So thank you all for everything.
Thank you and congratulations. Thank you, Judy. Last but certainly not least, as we mark a century of excellence and service, we proudly recognize the New Smyrna Beach Realtors for 100 years of commitment to our community and the real estate profession. At this time, I invite representatives from the New Smyrna Beach Realtors to come forward and receive this honor of their centennial celebration. The City of New Smyrna Beach proclamation celebrating the centennial of the New Smyrna Beach Board of Realtors. Whereas the New Smyrna Beach Board of Realtors has proudly served Southeast Volusia community for 100 years, upholding a legacy of excellence, integrity, and service in the real estate profession since its founding in 1925. And whereas the board has remained steadfast in its mission of fostering pride in profession and commitment to community, championing the values of members first, integrity, collaboration, service, respect, forward thinking, and resilience, and guiding generations of realtors in their profession and civic endeavors. And whereas the board has empowered members through innovative tools, education, membership, and leadership development, ensuring the realtors are equipped to serve with excellence and uphold the highest ethical standards, while also advocating for private property rights, fair housing, diversity, equity, and inclusion, and supporting the Realtors Political Action Committee initiatives and civic engagement. The board has enriched the community through scholarships, charitable partnerships, volunteerism, and advocacy for the unhoused, branding the Realtor name as a symbol of compassion and civic responsibility, and has fostered a culture of mentorship, collaboration, lifelong professional growth amongst its members. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the City of New Smyrna Beach does hereby recognize and celebrate the 100th anniversary of the City of New Smyrna Beach Board of Realtors and extends its deepest sympathy, deepest appreciation. They don't look 100, do they? Deepest appreciation for a century of service, leadership, and unwavering commitment to the betterment of our community. In witness whereof, I have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of the City of New Smyrna Beach to affix this 28th day of October, 2025. Congratulations.
Everybody else get it? 1, 2, 3. Congratulations.
Yeah. Mr. Manager, before your report, sir, I think what we'll do is we'll take up the issue of item 10.
We do have one presentation for
Oh,
the
one to
Atlantic
go.
Center for the
I'm
Arts.
sorry, you're
Yes.
exactly right. I forget every time. Now, this is, we're pleased to welcome the Atlantic Center of the Arts as they present their annual update, highlighting their continued impact on arts and culture in our community. This presentation reflects their dedication to fostering creativity and enriching the lives through the arts. Welcome, Jennifer. I see the chairman of your board is here. Welcome, Mr. North.
Jennifer Coolidge, Executive Director, Atlantic Center for the Arts. I'm here with my colleague Peggy Imbert, who works with our community programs and youth programs, and our board chair, Russell North. And we are pleased to be able to give you a bit of an update and some highlights that are a result of our partnership, which is outlined in our Memorandum of Understanding, of which Images is a big part of that. But also, we will do other things that are outside that scope, and we'll look for opportunities to serve the city, for example, to put artwork in these chambers, and we're looking forward to changing out artwork here as a part of our offerings in the city of New Smyrna Beach. So we're excited. This year is going to be 50 years of Images. Can you believe our partnership with the city, 50 years old? And it's really an outgrowth of our founders' commitment to bringing in quality artists and also bringing in quality judges from around the country and building up the audience and the quality of that festival. And so we're so pleased to be able to continue that tradition. And it's grown. It's grown over time with youth arts education, other aspects, entertainment, and looking at building further on that. And also working in partnership with your staff. I love working with Rob Salazar, other members of your team. We work in tandem, and I'm very excited about some ways that we're going to expand how we work together. I know parking has been, an issue. Last year, we got a bird's eye view looking at the area and how we could identify areas of parking. We know that's a concern. And we started reaching out and creating some parking partners. And so we look forward to meeting with Stephen on your staff for parking to develop a further of a plan, and then getting these parking partners on board and being able to communicate to the community about how they can access parking. And further, also thinking about security. We work very well with your police department, and last year developed some additional things around security, and this will be top of mind as we come together prior to Images. One of the amazing things about this festival is the economic impact, and this is taken from Americans for the Arts Economic Calculator. I'd be happy to sit down with any of you and walk you through it. But bottom line, the impact of Images Festival is over $2.2 million in the local economy, and you can ask businesses around here. The hotels are almost full now in reference to preparing for Images. Now, in our memorandum of understanding is community arts programming, and I'd like Peggy Imbert, who's been here longer at ACA than I have, to talk a little bit about what we do with our community arts.
Thank you, Jennifer. Not only have I been there longer than her, I've been in this town longer than her. I grew up here. So I'm a 1974 graduate of the Cudas. Yeah. Also, being a small business owner for 25 years, I owned a preschool and kindergarten, raised my 2 children and my grandchildren here. But I wanted to point out about the importance of arts and wellness. And ACA was on the cutting edge of this, even before most anybody in the state was working on it. I was working with Ren Morrison. We were putting together wonderful programming to help caregivers and their care partners, bridging and helping that gap. We were going into nursing homes, bringing in the Creative Caregiving Guide, which was led by Margie Pabst at the time. And this city was really on the forefront of it because this was the testing ground. And now we know even University of Florida has one of the biggest programs in the country with arts and wellness. So I'm proud to say that the work that we have done has made a huge impact in that field. And this coming year of 2026, our art ambassadors, as you can see many of them, we're going to continue that. We're going to bring it in more to the Live Oak Cultural Center and going into Babe James Center. We want to start working with people that are in stressful situations, raising children, raising grandchildren, raising a multicultural household with maybe stress and illness. So that's our 2026 plan.
What we also do, expand a little bit more on the youth programs and some of the things that you're heading up.
Well, our youth programs are equally as diverse. We do summer art camp every summer. Last week we had 7 weeks, and we do not discriminate on any issue. We have children that come to us with medical needs, learning disabilities. It doesn't matter how much money their parents make. We have a group that underwrites all that. We give scholarships. Last year, I think we were at 78 full scholarships for kids to come to summer camp. We also offer free scholarships for any students at the Babe James Center. If they want to come, they get a free scholarship also. We're going into our 4th year of a homeschool program for the Healing Health. We do 3 rotations with those kids because the homeschool program in this state is booming. A lot of parents have chosen to homeschool their kids, and this is free to them because we want to reach them not only with the cultural advantages, but also giving those moms that additional support that those kids need for socialization, of being with other kids, and they've all made friends. We're going in year 4. Again, as I said, that's a free program. We have a wonderful outreach program. Our artists and performers go into the public school system. One of the pictures that you see on the slides is at New Smyrna Middle. Just last Friday, we brought a professional dancer from New York City. Those girls had never experienced anything like that. We also partnered with Rollins College, and they did 3 workshops and concerts for our kids in the community about the environment, saving the rivers, saving the Indian River. And then, of course, our cultural aspect, we had 2 interns from Japan, and the kids had just had a blast with all of that. But if any of you know of a child in need and is looking for those kind of opportunities, ACA is the place.
I'm with you. Thank you so much.
Now, you all know residencies are a heart of our program, but our residency program has extended into Canaveral Seashores with our Soundscape Field Station within the MOU last year and the year before. With the city's support, you funded sound artists to work at that field station. We have Daria Amano from Miami. She's a storyteller and a sound artist. And then Jessie Bedell from Australia was here with us and did work with students. And this was a part of a 5-year grant also with the National Park Service that just ended that resulted in a documentary called Postcards from Canaveral. We're still committed to working with Canaveral, but this ends that 5-year grant program with the National Park Service. So I'm going to let Russ talk a little bit about our ACA Live initiative.
Good evening. This is an initiative that we started just this year, and it's been our test cases that we've done. We brought 3 Grammy-winning artists onto a stage at ACA. Those artists went into the community, went into the high schools. Nestor Torres went in and worked with the jazz band here in town. I'll tell you a story that warmed my heart. He's an amazing artist. He has 2 Grammys, recording artist, jazz, goes into the band, and the conductor asks him, would you work with my band? And he walks in, he's sure. Let's do this tune. He names a tune. So the band starts, he stops him. And he says, okay, each of you, I want you to do the line. Do the line that's in the song for the... And each student did the line, and one young man came up and got into a full panic. He just could not even play his instrument. And Nestor said to him very quietly, listen, life brings you to different points, and all of us come to a point in life where we're going to make a decision to either achieve or our fears will stop us from achieving. Now, you can do this. I'll play the line first, then you play the line with me, then you play it by yourself. The young man, when he hit it the 3rd time, did it perfectly, and in fact did it so well that after Nestor's concert, at 10 o'clock, he showed up with his flute, and Nestor took him aside for 2 hours and worked with this young man, making a huge difference, not only in the eyes of the students, but of this in particular student. The other story I'd like to tell you about is that Fred can dance. We had Ron doing a concert over here at one of the schools, and he saw Ron as a guitarist like Eric Clapton, Grammy-winning fellow. And he had, at that point, seen over 400 students in the school system. Coming in, he played solo, and the kids would beam. And you know what their thought was? I want to learn how to play the guitar. I can create music like he can create music, because he's a composer. Well, one of those, Fred was there attending, and it was full of energy. And he asked if someone would like to come up and sing with him and dance with him. I'm standing there, and there goes Fred. Fred's up there in full glory. The kids get up and they're dancing, and everyone is just engaged with the music. What's the result of that? What's the result of ACA Live for this community? It brings culture into the community that makes the community more alive. It brings new people to the community because they're looking for that kind of concerts. Grammy-winning artists coming to New Smyrna Beach and performing. That's a New York City concert. So it changes the culture and enhances the happiness that goes on in the city. So this is one of the things we're doing this year. Now we're looking at a partnership with the city to do artists with, we have 2 Grammy winners coming next year. We want a partnership with the city on those concerts. So thank you.
And just wanted to show a picture of our mayor here with the artist. There he is at the Babe James Center. We're so thrilled. I want to just elaborate a little on what Russ has said. We want to bring world-class artists to this community, have them be able to perform their art, make their art, but reach out to the community. And that's an extension of Doris Lieber's vision. She wanted to bring this to this community. We're continuing this with a new initiative called ACA Live. And we want to bring it to the Brannon Center. So in this MOU, you can see that we have a pilot to do a concert with a larger audience during Images, and we thought we'd pick a home run with a Jimmy Buffett tribute to do during Images. So we're excited. There's a profit sharing 50-50 on tickets, and we think that we can work together, leverage our assets. We've got the artistic content. We can help with marketing. You all have the facility. Let's see how this can work. So this is a pilot. And we look forward in 2026 to doing more of them, but we want to learn from this first one in January. So what's next? You have the memorandum of understanding, and that outlines what we want to do with the city in 2026 in some ways. But I'm so thrilled about the Mayor Cleveland's initiative to bring the arts groups together. And it's an initiative called New Smyrna Beach Arts Forward. We're one of many that will come together at the Brannon Center for a forum on November 18th. More to come on that, but we're thrilled to be a part of it and discuss ways that we can really elevate the arts by working together with the city and the broader community. And we just wanted to say thank you.
Thank you, ACA leadership. You're doing a great job, especially the kids. Thank you for taking care of our future. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Madam City Attorney, if you don't mind, I'd like to have you read the ordinance 6525. This is for the public, is the ordinance regarding the amended section proposal of section 504.02 R2 single family residential special exception use of school and or house of worship. If you'll read that.
Ordinance number 6525, an ordinance of the City of New Smyrna Beach amending the land development regulations, amending Article 5 zoning districts, Section 50402, specific regulations by district, to revise dimensional standards for the special exception use of schools and house of worship in R2 single-family residential zoning districts, providing for codification, providing for public hearing, providing for conflicting ordinances, providing for severability, and providing an effective date. In the event we have a positive vote for continuance, there's some additional information I have to read into the record.
Sure enough. The manager has been working with the staff to have this continuance and to rework the wording. Is there any questions or comments for the manager? The chair would entertain a motion then to continue this to date what, Carrie?
March 10th.
To March 10th.
So moved.
There's a motion
Second.
to continue it and a second to continue it to March 10th. Any follow-up? Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Vice Mayor Martin,
Continue, yes.
Commissioner Perrine,
Yes.
Commissioner McGurk,
Yes.
Commissioner Ashley,
Yes.
Mayor Cleveland.
Yes. Okay, the motion carries. So what that means to those of you who came to hear or speak on this issue, please come back on the 10th. We'll be happy to have a whole different setting where the staff will present what their amended, adjusted resolution wording would be at that time, and we'd be anxious to have your comments on the record at that time.
The public hearing considering the adoption of this ordinance shall be held at 5:30 p.m. or 6:30 p.m. We haven't voted on that yet. So we will renotice this in order to make sure the time is correct. On March 10th, 2025, in the City Commission Chambers, 214 Sam's Avenue, New Smyrna Beach, Florida, after notice published pursuant to 1660413A Florida statutes.
Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate that.
2026, March 10th, 2026.
Very good. Mr. Cowper, your report finally, sir.
Yes, sir. Just wanted to mention a couple of things this evening. Most obviously, the upcoming special election on November 4th. If you want information about that, please visit our website. Our Citizens Academy is well underway. We've had a group of citizens learning about the city and interacting with some staff. That's been very well organized and attended. We will have a graduation celebration for those attending the Academy on November the 18th. Also on November 18th, we are planning to have an update, an economic development update from Economic Development Director Bergeron. And on December 9th, we will have an update on our current capital projects from our director. And let's see, a couple of other things, Mayor. You'll probably mention the meeting tomorrow with the legislative delegation, also the Veterans Day ceremony that's coming up. And I did want to mention you be careful driving down Canal Street. We've got a lot of activity there with our crews putting up lights for the holiday season. So we're anxious to see what they will look like. They've certainly been working hard on it. And that's my report, sir.
Thanks, sir. Any questions or comments on the manager's report? I'd like to commend you again for your diligence to get the Florida Department of Transportation crews continue to get out onto State Road 44 and deepen those runoffs that have been filled in over the years. So it's great work. Thank you for making that happen so quickly. Okay, on to public participation. If there are any citizens who wish to address the commission, this is your time to do it. It's, again, a monologue for you to tell and talk to us about your feelings about what's going on in your neighborhood or what you see around town. If you have an accolade for the city staff, we're always anxious to hear about that. We won't be answering any questions. You'll have 3 minutes. The green light will come on. You will start with a minute to go. The yellow light will come on. You need to be finished when the red light comes on. If you have matters pertaining to the city, please come forward. We'd like to hear from you now. Name and address for the record when you come forward. Hi, Gina. Welcome.
I didn't know until about 15 minutes ago I was going to talk. My name is Gina Alaka-Ferlin. I live at 628 South Pine Street. I just wanted to let you know that members of the neighborhood would like to work together with city staff in the creation of a compromise for the text amendment regarding schools and houses of worship. We're not really sure how we can make that happen, but we really would like to be involved.
Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate that. Ashton, welcome.
Thank you. Ashton Musgrove, 725 West Canal Street, CEO of the New Smyrna Beach Board of Realtors. I'm wearing 2 hats tonight. First, I wanted to say thank you all who attended our centennial celebration last week. I know it was a busy week with the Economic Development Summit as well, but we were very excited to have about 150 to 200 members attending that and celebrating the 100 years of history of our association. That was wonderful. Also, one thing kind of tying into the charter review, we are working on getting some information out there. I'd like to thank Mark Billings and Tracy Barlow. They just did a podcast for us that we launched this afternoon at 4:30. You can find it on our Facebook page. They're just going through all the charter amendments and kind of talking about the pros and cons. We also printed some extra copies of those pamphlets that were in the utilities bill, which was very helpful for city staff sharing those with us. So thank you for that. So we're trying to spread the word about the election on November 4th. We also have included you all on some housing statistics that we get monthly from our state association. They do encompass specifically our territorial jurisdiction, which is Southeast Volusia as a whole. So it's not just New Smyrna, but I thought that information and data could be helpful for you all. So just so you know, you are included on those now moving forward. With all of that said, that's pretty much everything I had from the board side. Switching my hat over to the Chamber of Commerce side, chairing the Economic Development Summit this year. Thank you all for participating in that. I'm hoping that the lively discussions being part of it for the last 4 or 5 years, I think that you all were really able to have those conversations that you've been wanting to and needing to have. If you missed it, it was recorded. So there is a link on the Chamber's website, so it's live streamed. You can go back and watch those conversations. So thank you all. We will be working on some follow-up meetings with you to have those deeper conversations on those topics in the next couple of months once we get a little bit of sleep from last week. So thank you all so much again, and we're here if you need anything. Thanks.
Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate your comments. Evening audio.
Good evening, Mayor Cleveland. Thank you all for always everything you do. Just want to say that. I start off with some accolades. Number one, to the New Smyrna Beach Police Department for everything that they do for our community. Just want to say they rescued me on a personal. I was stranded on the road. My Jeep got stuck. My Jeep's butt was sticking out in the middle of the road. I had a towel trying to keep people out of the way right there when they're coming over the bridge by the Dunkin' Donuts, and they were going 50 miles an hour. And one sweet gal, police officer, pulls around. She's trying to move the Jeep. Another police officer pulls up. 3 police officers came to my rescue. And I just want to say thank you very much, New Smyrna Beach Police Department, for everything you do for our community. And that's just amazing. On another note with the New Smyrna Beach Police Department, and this one is, it's just a little bit of a, I think I mentioned this to you one time, Vice Mayor, when we were talking about some of the transients, and I mentioned that I had seen on the blotter, because I look at it all the time, the New Smyrna Beach Police log, that they were at our parks, and that one had exposed himself. And the only reason I knew that was because I read that blotter, and then that helped us implement the fact that the transients aren't going to be sleeping in our parks and everything. So that was very important. So the blotter is really important to take in consideration when you're looking and trying to protect your community, because the police department does serve and protect, and they do a great job. The blotter used to say things like, they were very specific. They would say, who it was, the date it was. Like, for example, I won't mention the person's name, but, felony arrest, 3rd Avenue, blah, 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 white female, taken into custody, burglary, assault. I found out that my neighbor down the road from me was a drug addict and a convicted felon, but now they're not doing anything. They just go, male arrested. And so they're not doing the same that they did before in the past. And so to me, it's taking away my knowledge and the knowledge in the community to know who these people are, who these perpetrators are. So I would like to see if you could address the police log and see if they can do a better job of that. And on a final note, another accolade to Philip Vesky for his awesome Citizens Academy that I've been a participant of. Found out some great stuff at Leisure Services. Did not know all this awesome stuff about youth and teens. Philip, you do an incredible job. I just want to tell you thank you so much for all you've done for everyone who's involved in that. And another accolade, and thank you so much for everything you all do.
Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate your comments. Evening, Mr. Williams.
Good evening, Mayor. Thank you, Commission and staff. Bob Williams, 767, oh no, I moved, 3011 Trubs Trace. But I'm actually here tonight on behalf of the Southeast Volusia Chamber of Commerce, and I just wanted to thank you on behalf of the board both the staff and all of you for your participation. I want to thank Ashton for her leadership on the task force, which is actually a subcommittee of the Chamber's Advocacy and Economic Development Committee, which our current chair, John Joaquin, is in the audience, and also Mark Billings, our chair of the board, is here. And I know you all know this, but for the audience, the mission of the Southeast Volusia Chamber of Commerce is cultivating business through education, advocacy, and connection to create a vibrant quality of life for the residents and guests of New Smyrna Beach, Edgewater, and Oak Hill. And our vision is for Southeast Volusia to be a thriving economic region in which to live, learn, work, and play. So we had a great summit last week. And one of the things that we are still working on the debrief of that, but we identified several things that will resonate with you, one of which was we need to do this more than once a year. We need to set a cadence or a drumbeat to be more engaged. We heard you on that. We heard from the East Central Florida Regional Planning Council that there is the United States Federal Department of Economic Development administrative grants that when we come together as a region that we would be more competitive for, and so we need to talk some more and be more aware of what are some of the regional things that we can each help one another with. We want to formalize the great presentation by Ben Bartlett from the county on the flooding, and also engage more with industry on what they need. We actually did do that a couple of years ago, and so we'll go back and dive into that and bring that back and do some more of that. So mainly just wanted to say thank you very much for all that you do each day and each week for our community. Appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate those comments. Evening, sir.
Good evening. Good evening, Mayor, council members. My name is Jerry Falzone, and I am here on behalf of the Atlantic Center for the Arts, an organization that has been part of the heartbeat of New Smyrna Beach for more than 40 years. I'm here to thank you for your partnership of ACA, and as one of the principal people of ACA Live, I just want you to know I'm very excited about what we're going to be doing together in the future. Over the decades, thousands of people, local and visitors alike, have experienced performances, exhibitions, workshops, and programs at ACA that simply would not exist without the center. But our mission isn't just about art on the walls or music on stages. It's about our community impact. We work with local schools to bring creativity into classrooms. We provide free and low-cost programs for families, seniors, and students who might not otherwise have access to the arts. We host concerts and events that bring visitors who eat in our restaurants, stay in our hotels, and support our local businesses. And in fact, today I went to the Spring Hill Marriott just to find out how they were doing for images. They've got 4 rooms left, and that's not till the end of January. I was pretty happy about that. We know that New Smyrna Beach is a very, very creative community. It's a community that thrives on the arts, and also it's a community that I really understand is starving for the arts. And I'm just very thrilled to be here and to be able to be a part of this community and to be a part of this organization. And I just want to thank you for the partnership that you have shown for the last 40 years. And I'm just hoping that that can go on for a long, long time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Jerry, for your time and your talent. Good evening, Ms. Flanagan.
Good evening. My name is Cindy Flanagan. I live at 2401 Saxon Drive. And I'm a proud CUDA graduate, class of 19, I forget, but I'm here tonight as the chair of the Advent Health New Smyrna Beach Foundation. We have a big event coming up, the Holiday Charity Ball. And the foundation is a group of hardworking citizens that try to fill the gap between the fact that our hospital is a nonprofit. In case you didn't know, it is a nonprofit, and helping with some specific projects to get them over the hump. The hospital does not turn anybody away, and I can tell you that each year the hospital contributes $35 million towards health care for underprivileged, for seniors, free clinics, free programs, and so on. And that is just our hospital. That's not the Advent Health system. So the foundation is a group that we're fundraisers, we are advocates for the hospital, ambassadors. Each year we pick a project to work on. Last year we were instrumental in bringing orthopedic robotic surgery to our hospital. So Mayor Cleveland can continue dancing with his good knees. And this year our project is centered around cardiac care. We're looking to advance the cardiac care that we have at the hospital, which is amazing right now, but by adding some more service lines to the cardiac care, it allows our community to stay home, and get care right here at home, and that's really important. We live in this beautiful paradise filled with the arts. It's a foodie, it's the outdoor activities experience, and what good is it if we don't have good health? So we want everybody to be healthy so that they can enjoy our community. And so I invite you to the Holiday Charity Ball, November 13th. That's our biggest fundraiser. We're gonna have some of the equipment there. We're gonna have silent auction, live auction, and a lot of fun little surprises. So you can go to the website at Advent Health New Smyrna Beach Foundation and get your tickets or your table. There's a few left, so I encourage you to hurry. So thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate your comments, ma'am. Anyone else for public participation? Good evening, Professor. How are you, Crystal? Good.
Crystal Saylor. I live at 645 Ball Street. It is pure luck that NSB is not dealing with the aftermath of double-digit rainfall in a 6-hour span like happened in Titusville, Mount Dora, Eustis, and other Central Florida communities last Sunday. Our infrastructure, like theirs, will not be able to handle it when our luck runs out. It's too late regarding the former wetlands and displaced water where Coastal Woods and Venetian Bay were developed. Deering Park will displace even more water. Their promised and as yet undesigned and untested plan to send water south and west against its natural flow seems to be a pipe dream to me. The displaced water will find its way to low-lying regions even if they are miles away. Those low-lying regions used to be high ground until zoning changes, variances, and dump trucks of fill destroyed the community. A cubic yard of fill displaces over 200 gallons of water. A dump truck that holds 10 or more cubic yards of fill will cause over 2,000 gallons of water to be displaced. I watched a steady stream of dump trucks take fill into the wetlands that became Coastal Woods for months. That was when 44 could still be easily traveled. Now it's quicker to take US 1 to Daytona than to use I-95. Instead of real improvements to the problem of increased traffic, the Band-Aid solution of more traffic lights is used. Overdevelopment and the resulting traffic had forced more drivers away from 44 and onto US 1. As a result, the region of US 1 from Industrial Park Avenue to Art Center Avenue has turned into a dangerous stretch of road. We need to start with increased traffic enforcement and maybe some flashing lights or warning signs at the east-west roads that connect to US 1 in that region. To 4-lane Mission Road, while the intersection of Mission and 44 is still not properly dealt with, is pure madness. The county should perhaps focus, and with the city's help, on 4-laning Pioneer Trail, since there is an interchange being built at 95 that connects to Pioneer. Infrastructure for both traffic and flood control needs to be the top priority. The completed and improved developments cannot be undone, but moving forward, variances and zoning changes need to stop. We have decades of bad development decisions that need to be dealt with, and piling on more destructive development needs to end. So I'm hoping that we can move forward with really focusing on mitigating things related to traffic issues and flooding issues especially. Thanks for your time.
Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate your comments. Okay. No cheers or jeers, please.
And I had my speech all prepared for cheers. Come on. My name is Mary Lynn Wentway. I'm the president of Dolphin Cove Community Association. I'm sure you've all seen my multiple emails over the past several years. I live at 64 Sable Cay. I'm here to ask for help. We are a small 50-unit community that happens to be next door to Riverwalk. Riverwalk was designed and the city approved it so that its water and its sediment is pouring into our community. We just spent about $500,000, which the city is also aware of from all my said emails. The city uses our stormwater system without compensation or participation. The water runs from Venetian Villas, Kia Sissi, and now Riverwalk into our system. Our brand new system is clogged because there is no sediment control out of Riverwalk. So the soil runs along with all of the water out onto the city street and into our community. It also runs directly off of their property onto our property and under two of our buildings that never had water under them up until that building started being built, the most recent one that's along Kia Sissi. So I'm here to ask that the city enforce and require Riverwalk to maintain its own stormwater system and not rely on our small community. I'm asking that sediment controls be put in place. We're at the end of the project. This should have been going on all along. So I'm asking for that, and we want the city to come and talk with us and meet with us and talk about how we're going to handle and continue to handle the stormwater system, because it is not right that the city is requiring 50 units to take on all of the stormwater from that section of Coronado Island. It is not feasible. So those are my requests. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate your comments. Is there anyone else for public participation? Mr. Romeo.
Good evening, Mr. Romero, 708 South Cooper Street. One question I have is that, are we going to change the time for starting the meetings next year to 5:30? Because 425 was, Resolution 425 was signed on January 22nd, telling when the meetings will start and end. September 23rd, Commissioner Ashley made a motion to start them earlier, 5:30. It was voted 4-1, and it passed. And then last meeting at agenda item 10E80, it was supposed to be 3525 resolution was supposed to amend 425, but that was tabled. So at the end of the meeting, it was said that, I think it was the clerk who said it, I believe it was, that the meetings will start at 5:30 in January. So there's a lot of confusion. Because I came to that meeting, last meeting, they're ready to talk about the start time. We need to keep it at 6:30 for the residents that live here. Because a lot of them work. I'm here all the time, as you can see, but a lot of them work and a lot of them want to be here. I know they come in, they talk and they leave. I get that part. But we need to stay at 6:30 if it's possible. I'd appreciate that. Thank you. Number two, the Board of Realtors came up here and said they had a podcast with Mr. Billings about the charter review and the elections coming up November 4th. I want to ask the member of the Board of Realtors if she would like to do a podcast with the folks that are against the review. We can have balance and review there. They have the pros and they have the cons. Would she want people that talk to the folks that oppose some of these things on there and vote no? So the residents can decide from both sides of that. This is not personal against Mr. Billings. He did a great job. I was there most of the meetings. He did a great job. But that needs to be addressed. If the Board of Realtors is going to take one side, which it seems to be, is voting for all yes here, whatever they may be there. But they also asked for palm cards from the city to hand out at the luncheon. They didn't ask for any cards from the other groups saying no. So there needs to be a balance, in my opinion. If they want to get involved in this politics here, they have to see both sides of the coin. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate your comments. Anybody else for public participation? Evening, Mr. Billings.
Good evening. Mark Billings, 128 Mangrove Estates Circle in New Smyrna Beach. First off, let me say thank you for your service. I'm here, I heard prior speakers talk about many hats. I'm here as Executive Director for the Southeast Volusia Habitat for Humanity. Many of you were at our events in the last few weeks, so thank you for that. I'm also Chairman of the Board for the Southeast Volusia Chamber of Commerce. You guys did a remarkable job at the summit, so I want to thank you for that. I also serve on the Hospital Foundation Board, and Ms. Flanagan was here, so I think the hospital does a great job, so thank you for all of those things. But I'm here today to tell you that I'm here to speak for my 3 minutes as the chairman of the Charter Review Committee, a committee that I did not ask to serve on, a committee I did not ask to be appointed chair of. I was honored by my peers, 10 others, there are 11 total across all 4 zones. On the 4th of November, a ballot will be administered to our community for you to make a decision across 7 recommendations. What I would say to you is that I've spent a lot of time over the last few weeks. I've gotten to be known about this more so than my athletic abilities I was known for in Rockledge a few years ago, but that's come and gone now. What I'll say to you is there's a lot of distorted facts. For example, at no point in time in the 2 interviews that I've done, one for newsprint and one for a podcast, did I advocate for yes. At no point in time did I advocate for no. What I said was the recommendations for the community to vote were an overwhelming majority of the 11 people across all 4 zones. That's a fact. It's undeniable. So I'm here today to encourage everyone to get out and vote. Look at the 7 amendments. Look at the recommendations to see what makes sense for you as an individual. Each person should make their own decisions. I personally believe the process was flawless. 11 people across all 4 zones came to the same conclusion. Each person needs to make his or her own mind up. Again, thank you for your leadership. At the pace you're going, you'll be done just in time to make it to Volusia Delegation Days at 9 o'clock tomorrow. So have a good night. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Billings. Appreciate your comments. Evening, Mr. Ison.
Mayor Cleveland, commissioners, city manager, city clerk, and city attorney. My name is Mike Ison, 624 North Riverside Drive, and I also sat on the Charter Review Committee as the vice chair. And I just wanted to maybe just make a couple of statements. What I would really enjoy and like if our residents who have heard lots of conflicting information, if they'd please take a little bit of time and go to the city website. Every meeting from the Charter Review is recorded and you can watch it. You can watch our debates, you can watch our decisions, and you can watch our vote. So please do that before you vote so you can make an informed decision on what you want to vote yes and what you want to vote no. Secondly, I think there's some confusion regarding independent voters. Basically, this is a nonpartisan vote, so whether you're no matter what party affiliation, if you're a resident of New Smyrna Beach, you can vote. So please do that. And lastly, I want to bring up the fact that we did obviously request, and it was approved, a special election. And I feel really happy about that because if it goes to the general election, we're going to be at the very end of the ballot. I think our citizens deserve their own special election so they can take the time, look at the amendments requested, and vote their heart. So thank you very much.
Appreciate your comments, sir. Thank you. Anyone else for public participation? Seeing none, public participation is now closed. Thank you for your comments. The city manager or city clerk will follow up as appropriate. Let's move on to the consent agenda. Does any member of the commission wish to comment or have a question about any item on the consent agenda? I have a couple, items 7C and 7F. 7C is about a resolution to support the reinforcement and widening of Old Mission Road. Through communications with the county council is fully on board and would like to actually help us find a way to fund this and may require state funding. It's a massive undertaking. We've had residents come up and talk regularly about the safety hazards, the conveyance of water through there, and how it's important to protect that conveyance of water and the load of the traffic that road bears north and south from Edgewater to New Smyrna. So I speak strongly to endorse that resolution, which we'll vote on here in a few minutes. The second is item 7F. This is money coming into the city from the Florida Inland Navigation District. Its chair happens to be a New Smyrna resident. It's the first time Volusia County has chaired the fine, and so former commissioner, now chairman Buddy Davenport, has been instrumental in arranging $371,250 to come for these three projects, and it's an amazing and wonderful thing to help get items that we need in public safety and boating safety and in law enforcement here in our area. So I rise to commend the fine and to thank Chairman Davenport for doing that. Is there any of the 7 items that any of my colleagues would like pulled off the consent agenda? Seeing none, the chair would advocate for a motion to adopt the items A through I on the consent agenda.
So moved.
A motion and a second. Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Perine?
Yes.
Commissioner McGurk?
Yes.
Commissioner Ashley?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Martin?
Yes.
Mayor Cleveland?
Yes. Okay, consent agenda is approved. On to administrative items and new business. This is the consideration for approval of the authorization to initiate a fire assessment study with the Alfred Bench and Company, and to publish a notice to the public via newspaper of general circulation to inform the method of assessment collection as required by the Florida statute in order to preserve the city's ability to implement a non-ad valorem fire assessment in fiscal year 2027. So here to educate us and inform us is our finance director, Director Joanne Drury. We're anxious for your report, ma'am.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Commissioners. Earlier this year, during our budget workshops, we discussed future funding strategies, one of which was the potential implementation of a fire assessment. A fire assessment would help diversify the city's revenue, ease pressure on the general fund, and align costs with the benefits received by property owners. Tonight, we are requesting your approval for 2 preliminary actions that will preserve the city's ability to consider a fire assessment for fiscal year 2027. Approving these actions does not commit the city to implementing a fire assessment. It simply ensures we have the legal and procedural framework in place to make an informed decision during the fiscal year 2027 budget process. First, we are requesting authorization to contract with Alfred Bench and Company to conduct a comprehensive fire assessment study at a cost of $80,970. It would be under our existing professional services agreement with this company. Fire assessments are highly technical and legally sensitive, requiring expertise in Florida statutes and case law. Alfred Bench and Company brings the specialized knowledge necessary to ensure any methodology we adopt is defensible and compliant with the statutes. Second, we are requesting approval to publish a notice of intent to use the uniform method of assessment collection as required by Florida statute 197.3632. The advertisement would be during November and December in a newspaper of general circulation. And I'm happy to answer any questions.
Any comments or questions for Commissioner McGurk?
Thank you, Mayor. So I just want to reiterate, this is the very preliminary. All we're doing tonight is you're requesting for the money to be able to commission a study.
Correct.
And we're going to look at, we're going to spend a lot of time looking at the pros and cons and the amount of money it would take and how these fees would actually work.
Correct.
I assume we haven't gotten down that road yet. Until we know what these fees would bring in and how we would incorporate it. We wouldn't know how that would affect the current budget for the public safety.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else, Commissioner Martin?
I happen to love separate line items on the property tax for public safety, including fire. It should be able to keep our property taxes a good bit, other parts, for the city, a little bit lower, because fire and police take up, 40% of this year's general fund?
Yes.
So it's a big line item, and I think this affords the community the opportunity to see for what they're paying.
Anybody else? Joe, it's a tax by any other name, and so I want to make sure that as we look toward what this would mean, that it doesn't represent just a total increase across the board. I'd like to understand what we're going to decrement out of the current pot of money for what we do for fire protection, and as it relates to whatever the increases might be. So looking at that with a fine-tooth comb, 80 grand to do the study. There are those that would say that's a lot of money for a study to change tax out of one hand into the other. And the transparency of what we spend is out there, as you have nicely laid out, in every other bucket that we have. So I'm not convinced that I need a separate line item for fire, because you already laid out item by item. Anyway, that's my view.
We need to make the record abundantly clear, this is not a tax, this is an assessment. Taxes apply universally across properties, and assessment is related to the special benefit conferred upon a property. So very clearly, this is not a tax, it's a special assessment.
Got it. And I understand there's special rules that apply for that, and exceptions and what have you. So stand corrected. Not a tax, but it still comes out of the wallet of the residents. Anyway, that's my view. I thought I'd just share that. Any other questions? Any other comments from you, ma'am?
No, sir.
Mr. Manager, anything from you on this, sir?
No, nothing else, sir.
Okay, very good. Is there a motion to approve the authorization to initiate a fire assessment study from the Alfred Benish Company?
I move to approve.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
And there's a second. Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner McGurk,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Martin,
Yes.
Commissioner Ashley,
Yes.
Commissioner Perrine,
No.
Mayor Cleveland.
No. Okay, motion carries. Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate the report. Good news, there are no quasi-judicial hearings tonight. However, we will have public hearings. And so a public hearing will be conducted to consider the adoption of Ordinance 6525, which, if adopted, would amend Section 50. Whoops, I'm sorry. We got rid of that one. We're going to do second readings. All right, here we go. We have Ordinance 66, 25, 67, 25, 68, 25, which is about an annex for property located at 125 Jungle Road as part of an overall annexation application. And so, Madam City Attorney, would you read these for the second time by title only, please?
Ordinance number 6625, an ordinance of the City of New Smyrna Beach annexing .45 plus or minus acres of property located on the south side of Jungle Road between Otter Boulevard and State Road 44, addressed as 125 Jungle Road, providing for redefining boundaries of the city, designating the property within Commission Zone 3, providing for public hearing, providing for required filings, providing for conflicting ordinances, providing for severability, and providing an effective date. Ordinance number 6725, an ordinance of the City of New Smyrna Beach amending the comprehensive plan, changing the future land use designation of .45 plus or minus acres of property located on the south side of Jungle Road between Otter Boulevard and State Road 44, addressed as 125 Jungle Road, from Volusia County urban medium intensity to city medium density residential, providing for amendment of the associated comprehensive plan maps to show the area incorporated into the city, providing for public hearing, providing for conflicting ordinances, and providing an effective date. Ordinance number 6825, an ordinance of the City of New Smyrna Beach rezoning .45 plus or minus acres of property generally located on the south side of Jungle Road between Otter Boulevard and State Road 44, addressed as 125 Jungle Road from Volusia County R4A's Urban Single Family Residential Airport Overlay to City R2A Single Family Residential Airport Overlay Zoning District, providing for conflicting ordinances, providing for severability, and providing an effective date.
Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate that. Senior Planner Mathan is up. Bob, we're anxious for your report.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor. So the property owners have requested the voluntary annexation, also a small-scale comprehensive plan amendment, changing the future land use from Volusia County urban medium intensity and a rezoning from Volusia County zoning designation of R4 urban single-family residential with an A attached for the airport height notification zone to a comparable city future land use category of medium density residential and a compatible city zoning of R2 single-family residential with an A attached for the airport height notification zone. The site contains approximately 0.45 plus or minus acres. It's located on the inside of a curve of Jungle Road between Otter Boulevard and State Road 44. And at the scheduled meeting on September the 8th, 2025, the Planning and Zoning Board voted 5-0 to give the City Commission a positive recommendation to approve the overall annexation application. And based on the positive recommendation from the Planning and Zoning Board, the Planning Department also recommends the City Commission to approve the requested annexation, small-scale comprehensive plan amendment, changing the future land use category to city medium density residential, and a rezoning to city R2 single-family residential with an A attached for the airport height notification zone. And that's a summary of the staff report. So, any questions the commissioners may have?
Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. Any questions or comments from my colleagues for the senior planner? All right, very good. Public hearing is now open. Are there any members of the public wish to speak on this topic? Please come forward and you'll be heard. Seeing none, public participation is now closed. We'll now consider each ordinance separately. The chair would entertain a motion for ordinance 6625. Is there a motion for 6625?
So moved.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Vice Mayor Martin?
Yes.
Commissioner Perine?
Yes.
Commissioner McGurk?
Yes.
Commissioner Ashley?
Yes.
Mayor Cleveland?
Yes, thank you. The motion carries. How about, is there a motion for ordinance 6725?
So moved.
Motion
Second.
and a second. Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Perine?
Yes.
Commissioner McGurk?
Yes.
Commissioner Martin? Vice Mayor Martin, I apologize. Commissioner Ashley?
Yes.
And Mayor Cleveland?
Yes, thank you. Motion carries. And lastly, for this annexation, ordinance 6825. Is there a motion?
So moved.
And a motion
Second.
and a second. Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner McGurk?
Yes.
Commissioner Ashley?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Martin?
Yes.
Commissioner Perine?
Yes.
Mayor Cleveland?
Yes,
Thank you.
thank you. All three of those carry for annexation. Public hearing will be also held now, the adoption of ordinance 6925, 7025, and 7125 regarding another annexation of 12.88 acres located at 1824 Ingram Road. Madam City Attorney, by title only, please, 6925, 7025, and 7125, please.
Ordinance number 6925, an ordinance of the City of New Smyrna Beach annexing 12.9 plus or minus acres of property generally located on the west side of Ingham Road, south of Mission Drive, addressed as 824 Ingham Road, providing for redefining boundaries of the city, designating the property within Commission Zone 1, providing for public hearing, providing for required filings, providing for conflicting ordinances, providing for severability, and providing an effective date. Ordinance number 7025, an ordinance of the City of New Smyrna Beach amending the comprehensive plan, changing the future land use designation of 12.9 plus or minus acres of property generally located on the west side of Ingham Road, south of Mission Drive, addressed as 824 Ingham Road, from Volusia County urban low intensity to city low density residential, providing for amendment of the associated comprehensive plan maps to show the area incorporated into the city, providing for public hearing, providing for conflicting ordinances, and providing an effective date. Ordinance number 7121, an ordinance of the City of New Smyrna Beach rezoning 12.9 plus or minus acres of property generally located on the west side of Ingham Road, south of Mission Drive, addressed as 824 Ingham Road, from Volusia County Mixed Use Planned Unit Development, A, Airport Overlay to City R2A Single Family Residential Airport Overlay Zoning District, providing for conflicting ordinances, providing for severability, and providing an effective date.
Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate that. Senior Planner Mathan, anxious for your report, sir.
Yes, Mr. Mayor. So the property owners have requested a voluntary annexation, a small-scale comprehensive plan amendment, changing the future land use category from Volusia County urban low intensity, and a rezoning from Volusia County zoning designation of mixed-use planned unit development with an A attached for the airport height notification zone to a compatible city future land use category of low-density residential and a city zoning designation of R2 single-family residential with an A attached for the airport height notification zone. The site contains approximately 12.88 plus or minus acres, and it's located on the west side of Ingham Road, south of Mission Drive. And at the regular scheduled meeting back on September the 8th, 2025, the Planning and Zoning Board voted 5-0 to give the City Commission a positive recommendation to approve the overall annexation application. And based on the positive recommendation from the Planning and Zoning Board, the Planning Department also recommends the City Commission to approve the requested annexation, small-scale comprehensive plan amendment, change the future land use category to city low-density residential and a rezoning to city R2 single-family residential with an A attached for the airport height notification zone. And that's a summary of the staff report. Subject to any questions the commissioners may have.
Any questions for Mr. Mathan from my colleagues? Seeing none, thank you, Bob. We'll open the public hearing. If there are any citizen who wishes to speak on this topic, please come forward and you'll be heard. Seeing none, public participation is now closed. We will consider each of these ordinances separately. Is there a motion to adopt the annexation in ordinance 6925?
So moved.
A motion
Second.
and a second. Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Vice Mayor Martin?
Yes.
Commissioner Perrine?
Yes.
Commissioner McGurk?
Yes.
Commissioner Ashley?
Yes.
Mayor Cleveland?
Yes, thank you. Is there a motion to adopt ordinance 7025?
So moved.
Second.
And a second. Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner McGurk?
Yes.
Commissioner Perrine?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Martin?
Yes.
Commissioner Ashley?
Yes.
Mayor Cleveland?
Yes, thank you. And finally, to make this annexation of the 12.88 acres fully compliant, is there a motion to adopt ordinance 7125?
So moved.
Second.
Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Perrine?
Yes.
Commissioner McGurk?
Yes.
Commissioner Ashley?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Martin?
Yes.
Mayor Cleveland?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, a public hearing will be conducted. Consider the adoption of ordinance 7225, 7325, and 7425. This is another annexation of 2.66 acres located at 736 Lova Street. Madam City Attorney, would you please, for the second time, by title only, 7225, 7325, and 7425?
Ordinance number 7225, an ordinance of the City of New Smyrna Beach annexing 2.7 plus or minus acres of property generally located on the north side of Luella Street, east of Alberta Street, addressed as 736 Luella Street, providing for redefining boundaries of the city, designating the property within Commission Zone 3, providing for public hearing, providing for required filings, providing for conflicting ordinances, providing for severability, and providing an effective date. Ordinance number 7325, an ordinance of the City of New Smyrna Beach amending the comprehensive plan, changing the future land use designation of 2.7 plus or minus acres of property generally located on the north side of Luella Street, east of Alberta Street, addressed as 736 Luella Street, from Volusia County rural to city rural, providing for amendment of the associated comprehensive plan maps to show the area incorporated into the city, providing for public hearing, providing for conflicting ordinances, and providing an effective date. Ordinance number 7425. An ordinance of the City of New Smyrna Beach rezoning 2.7 plus or minus acres of property generally located on the north side of Luella Street, east of Alberta Street, addressed as 736 Luella Street, from Volusia County A3A Transitional Agriculture Airport Overlay to City A3A Transitional Agriculture Overlay Zoning District, providing for conflicting ordinances, providing for severability, and providing an effective date.
Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate that. One more time, Senior Planner Mathan. Let's have it.
Yes, Mr. Mayor. So the property owners have requested a voluntary annexation, a small-scale comprehensive plan amendment changing the future land use category from Volusia County rural and a rezoning from Volusia County zoning designation of A3 transitional agriculture with an A attached for the airport height notification zone to a compatible city future land use category of rural and a compatible city zoning designation of A3 transitional agriculture with an A attached for the airport height notification zone. The site contains approximately 2.66 plus or minus acres. It's located on the north side of Llewellyn Street between Alberta Street and Pioneer Trail. And at its regular scheduled meeting back on September the 8th, 2025, the Planning and Zoning Board voted 5-0 to give the City Commission a positive recommendation to approve the overall annexation application. And based on that positive recommendation from the Planning and Zoning Board, the Planning Department recommends the City Commission to approve the requested annexation, small-scale comprehensive plan amendment changing the future land use category to city rural and a rezoning to city A3 transitional agriculture with an A attached for the airport height notification zone. And that's a summary of the staff report, subject to any questions commissioners may have.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. Any questions for Mr. Mathan? Thank you, Bob. Public hearing is now open. If there are any citizens who wish to speak on this topic, please come forward and you'll be heard. Seeing none, public participation is now closed. The commission will consider each ordinance separately. Is there a motion to adopt ordinance 7225?
So moved.
I have a motion and a second. Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner McGurk?
Yes.
Commissioner Ashley?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Martin?
Yes.
Commissioner Perrine?
Yes.
Mayor Cleveland?
Yes, 7225 is confirmed. How about, is there a motion to adopt ordinance 7325?
So moved.
A motion
Second.
and a second. Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Vice Mayor Martin?
Yes.
Commissioner Perrine?
Yes.
Commissioner McGurk?
Yes.
Commissioner Ashley?
Yes.
Mayor Cleveland?
Yes, thank you very much. And lastly, is there a motion to adopt ordinance 7425?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Perrine?
Yes.
Commissioner McGurk?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Martin?
Yes.
Commissioner Ashley?
Yes.
Mayor Cleveland?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, that annexation is complete, all three of those. Very good. We're going to move on to one where a public hearing will be conducted. Consider the adoption of ordinance 7525, which, if adopted, would grant a non-exclusive franchise agreement to the CFB Outdoors Incorporated. Madam City Attorney, if you would read 7525 for the second time by title only, please.
Ordinance number 7525, an ordinance of the City of New Smyrna Beach granting a non-exclusive franchise to CFB Outdoors, Inc. to provide construction and demolition debris removal services within the City of New Smyrna Beach, outlining franchisees' duties, providing terms and conditions under which such franchise shall operate, providing for severability, providing for conflicting ordinances, and providing an effective date.
Thank you very much. Batting cleanup, David Ray, our Director of Public Works. We're anxious for your report, sir.
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. This is a standard non-exclusive franchise agreement to pick up C&D material for the residents and the businesses throughout the city, but I'm here to answer any questions that you may have.
Any questions for Mr. Ray? David, this is for C&D only?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, very good. All right. I appreciate your being here at the late hour for this. Thank you very much. Public hearing is now open. Are there any citizens who wish to speak on this topic? Please come forward and you'll be heard. Seeing none, public participation is now closed. The chair would entertain a motion to adopt ordinance 7525.
So moved.
Motion.
Second.
And a second. Any other discussion? Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Vice Mayor Martin?
Yes.
Commissioner Perrine?
Yes.
Commissioner McGurk?
Yes.
Commissioner Ashley?
Yes.
Mayor Cleveland?
Yes.
Thank you.
Motion carries. Very good. Okay, we're on to ordinances and first readings. And so this is ordinance 7725 to conduct a first reading of an ordinance which, if adopted upon second reading and public hearing, would vacate unopened right-of-way on airport property. Madam City Attorney, if you'll read 7725 by title only for the first time, please.
Ordinance number 7725, an ordinance of the City of New Smyrna Beach vacating a platted, unopened right-of-way in the airport commercial subdivision generally located on the west side of North Dixie Freeway, north and south of Skyline Drive, providing for conflicting ordinances and providing for an effective date. Second reading and public hearing will be November 11th, 2025.
Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate that. And now ordinance 7825 will conduct a first reading of this ordinance, which, if adopted upon the second reading and public hearing, would vacate Birch Street between Slayton Street and Chisholm Street. Madam City Attorney, if you'll read 7825 by title only for the first time.
Ordinance number 7825, an ordinance of the City of New Smyrna Beach vacating a platted, unopened right-of-way in the Cotton Shed subdivision, generally located on Birch Street between Slatton Street and Chisholm Street, providing for conflicting ordinances and providing for an effective date. Second reading, public hearing will be November 11th, 2025.
Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate that. Let's move on to section 12, which is boards and commissions. The Planning and Zoning Board appointment will have to consider appointment of 2 members for the P&Z to serve a 3-year term expiring on November 1st, 2028. Madam City Clerk, your report, please.
So the local planning and zoning board was established under LDR 302.01 and also serves as a local planning agency for the city of New Smyrna Beach. The board ensures that land decisions align with the city's comprehensive plan and the land development regulations. The board consists of 7 voting members appointed by the City Commission and 1 non-voting member appointed by the Volusia County School Board. So we are here tonight for the City Commission to consider 2 new appointments to the Planning and Zoning Board.
Very good. Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate that. Are there nominations for these seats? We need to select 2. So do you want to do, how would you like to do it? One at a time or both?
You can do both.
Okay.
I'll nominate Deb Denny's.
Deb Denny's is nominated. Any other nominations?
Nominate David McKenna.
David McKenna's nominated. Anybody else?
I would nominate Terry Corbett.
Terry Corbett. So we have 3 nominees. Any more? Okay, so Terry Corbett, David McKenna, and Deb Denny's. And so distribute those ballots, if you will.
Doesn't matter.
We'll wait here for the sophisticated tallying process. Polls are now closed.
Okay, so counting the tallies, we did have 1 vote for Bob Warner, who was not selected, so that vote will not count. So in total, we have David McKenna, who got 4 votes, Teresa Corbett got 1 vote, and Deb Denny's got 4 votes.
Okay, so thank you very much, ma'am. Congratulations to Mr. McKenna and Ms. Denny's for stepping forward, your willingness to serve. City Clerk's office will be in touch. Thank you very much for serving your city. On to item 12B, which is the Police Pension Board. Consider the reappointment of 1 member to serve a 2-year term set to expire on the 2nd of October 2027. Madam City Clerk, your report, please.
The Police Pension Board is comprised of 5 members, and we are here today to reappoint, at the Commission's pleasure, Member Wilson, who has served 1 term and is seeking reappointment.
Okay, very good. Is there a nomination for Mr. Wilson?
I would like to nominate Mr. Wilson.
Are there any other nominations?
Nominate Randy Hartman.
Different board.
Fired.
Different board.
I'm glad I can bring humor to everybody tonight.
That's all right. You're rushing us along, and I appreciate that. Okay. Anything else? You want Brian? Any? Okay. Very good. All right. We have 1 nomination to serve. Would you roll call vote,
Yes.
please, ma'am?
Commissioner McGurk?
Yes.
Commissioner Ashley?
Yes.
Commissioner Perrine?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Martin?
Yes.
Mayor Cleveland?
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Wilson, for stepping forward and your willingness to serve again. The clerk's office will be in touch. And now on to the Fire Pension Board to consider an appointment of one citizen to serve a 4-year term set to expire on November 1st, 2029. Madam City Clerk, your report, please.
So the Fire Pension Board consists of 5 members. 2 of the members represent the City Commission and are appointed by the City Commission, which is the seat that's available tonight. The seat is available because Mr. Brian Fricke is not seeking reappointment. So we have 2 applicants for consideration. One applicant is Randy Hartman, and the second applicant is Frank Aquilian.
Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate that. And if we take nominations from my colleagues, I'll nominate Randy Hartman.
I double nominate Randy.
Anybody else? Okay, roll call, please.
Roll. Yes. Vice Mayor Martin?
Yes.
Commissioner Perine?
Yes.
Commissioner McGurk?
Yes.
Commissioner Ashley?
Yes.
Mayor Cleveland?
Yes. So thank you, Randy Hartman, for stepping forward to your willingness to serve again. The clerk's office will be in touch. And so you've got a couple board vacancies that you want to advertise. Go ahead with that, ma'am.
We have the Turnbull Creek will be one appointment that will be presented to you, and the Housing Authority has 2 members that are seeking reappointment that will be presented to you as well.
Appreciate that. Thank you so much. And now on to Mayor and Commissioner reports and comments. I want to thank Commissioner Martin for serving as Vice Mayor, and this will be your last meeting as Vice Mayor, but thank you for all that you've done. Appreciate that. Your comments, ma'am?
Well, first, I'm anxious to initiate a small ceremony for turning over the title. I continued work with the Florida League of Cities Legislative Committee in preparation for the upcoming state legislation session. There were lovely fundraisers for Burns Scientific and Technical School and several members of the arts community. And then I'm confused about the November 11th meeting, which starts on comp plan LDRs at 5:30 here, and then when we start, moves out into the lobby. I've never seen a meeting quite like that. And so I'm trying to understand, how that came about.
Is that directed at the city manager, ma'am?
I guess that would be the
Okay.
appropriate place.
Yes, I'd be happy to address that. And I apologize, I meant to announce that meeting during my comments. We do have a comp plan update. It's an open house scheduled November 11th. We'll start that at 5:30 in this room.
Yeah.
And there won't be any presentations per se. It'll just be an opportunity for people to come and engage with staff and ask questions and provide some input. As we get close to the meeting start time, closer to 6:30, then the staff will just move out into the lobby and people will be able to engage with them out there as they're coming and going from the meeting. We elected to do it this way because we figured we would have people already out for the evening coming to the meeting, and we could, I guess, get a 2-for-1 with people coming. Then we could engage with them on this topic where they might not ordinarily show up for a separate comp plan meeting. So it is a little bit different.
Yeah, and it sort of makes people have to make a choice between being here for the beginning of the commission meeting.
No, ma'am, it doesn't make you make a choice. So you can come at 5:30 and engage with staff, ask your questions, provide your input. You don't have to be at this event for the entire 2
all right.
hours.
So
it's a come and go.
It's sort of a meet and greet.
Sort of, yes, ma'am. It's
okay.
a come and go, get your questions answered, provide your answers. So,
Okay. Then, and again, I'm just curious about the impact of SB 180 on the planning process at this time. Things that we'd love to regulate, we can't. Does that have any other impact on land development, comprehensive plan, or anything?
It does apply to comprehensive plan amendments. So, I mean, there's still value in looking at your comprehensive plan. And, there's always updates that need to be done. So there's
at the
clearly
same
value.
time, we are mandated to do these updates, I think every 7 years. So
Makes it a little awkward at the moment, doesn't it?
Potentially, I guess it depends what the update brings about.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
And I'd like to remind everybody that early voting is going on now in DeLand, and that everybody should verify their polling place because a couple of them are not the standard ones. And thank you.
Man, appreciate that. Commissioner McGurk.
So we learned tonight that the mayor's a good dancer. I think we need him to show his skills at some point.
Maybe at the Dairy Queen.
So I want to thank the Chamber of Commerce for having their annual economic summit. I thought it was, it's valuable and, especially important because we have 3 new managers and a lot of new people on each of the commissions. And so this kind of discussions and open discussions and team building really helps us out. One of the things I thought about is how do we make it more efficient? Is it another meeting semi-annually, or maybe a subcommittee with people appointed from each of the 3 cities that make recommendations? I don't know. But that's it's something that we need to figure out how to we can take more action. In other words, discussion is always great, but government is great at discussions. So something we can do to somehow make it more effective, and I think that needs to come from leadership. And so that's subcommittee is one of the things that I thought that someone can kind of hash this out throughout the year and then bring recommendations from all 3 cities to us or what they've been talking about. So it may just be another committee, which creates another committee and more discussion, but who knows? So I support strongly the Mission Road improvement. And as the mayor pointed out earlier, we've had a lot of residents come in and talk about the shoulder. It's a safety issue. So I think that is a good project. And I think that I'm a big advocate for getting the Mission Road State Road 44 intersection improvement done. This has been talked about for a better part of a decade or more. And we don't want to improve a road that leads into the intersection only to have a bottleneck that's already there become worse. So I think that that intersection improvement should be part of that discussion of improving Mission Road. And I think we just need to press FDOT. We need to give them some pressure in getting support from our sister cities, especially Edgewater, would be important in building support and trying to get moving on that intersection improvement. That's all I have, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. Commissioner Perrine.
So I have a few things to talk about boards, and thank you for bringing that up 2 weeks ago. I like that we're receiving, Sharon, the updates of what openings are coming because it helps. I've had a lot of people that look at our agenda and read it and oh, you've got that open. That's so exciting. So thank you for that. This week, I've had a couple of people, too, that mentioned what kind of trainings do we give for the boards? And it reminded me of a couple of past board issues that we've had from members that have, maybe said some things or done some things out of their lane that they shouldn't, that could actually trigger a lawsuit against the board member, us, the citizens, all kinds of things. I'm not going to go into legal, and I don't even know that would even qualify, but that was some of the letters that we received, that people were saying that things were said. And a couple of my thoughts were planning and zoning from 2 past members that we've had, and then also historic recent things that have happened that some of the members have gotten a little bit out of their lane. And 2 comments were going back and forth this past week between historic board member and Chapter 50 information, and which triggered other things like Chapter 50. We've not been trained on that. So I think that we really need to take a hard look at, we have all these boards, but do the historic people actually read and go into detail and have a workshop over Chapter 50. We just appointed new people on both tonight. We just appointed 2 new ones. So it's important, I think, and our attorney does a great job explaining it, but we're constantly getting new people on and off, and I think it needs to be a little more detailed about things like that, so that the one issue, the man was out looking for code enforcement problems, and the other one made comments about somebody's structure of his home, and it wasn't even an application item. So we've just got to be really careful that we stick to the topic and let these members know that, because up here we get those letters, and it's uncomfortable for all of us, and the board members sometimes don't even know that they realize they're doing that. So I think it's time to look at their objectives. Right now, the only criteria we look at is their absences, basically, and if they're qualified. We need to look if they're doing things like that could trigger lawsuits, or if they're knowledgeable about Chapter 50 and the historic, because one of the charter items is about pursuing a historic district local overlay or doing it as a volunteer. And if you were to poll those people on that board, do they know that? There's big discussions going back and forth about that on our city webpage, which goes right into another issue about all of the misinformation we're seeing from the No People and Slow the Growth, tying the charter and the special election to SB 180 and flooding. I don't get that. That's not even an issue, but there's a lot of misrepresentation. I listened to Commissioner McGurk's comment about if we have to get a bullhorn out there and tell people on the corner, we're going to have to. And it came out again in the SEV meeting. Thank you, that was a great meeting. But the miscommunication and the slanderous comments we're getting up here is unbearable, to the point that I'm getting ready to hire an attorney and go after those slanderous comments because I'm sick of it. You cannot tie slow the growth, stop the growth to our SB 180 and our charter review. Has nothing to do with charter review at all, but these people are still doing it. And I don't understand it. We've got to have better communication, monitoring the social media misrepresentation, because I've been out there all week working 50 hours this week trying to at least say, that's not true, that's not true. These 7 charter items has nothing to do with growth or SB 180, nothing. But they are tying that on a Venetian Bay website, and I'm reading it over and over, and it's just liable. These are wrong. These are lies to our community and our citizens.
Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate that. Commissioner Ashley.
I agree with Jason. The Economic Summit was of great benefit, and I think that I thought Ben Bartlett did a great presentation on flooding and stormwater management. And I would like to see somehow the emphasis of those ideas in that summit somehow advertised or marketed or just be heard by the public over and over. I don't know how to do it, but those are exciting ideas. I think everybody should be focused on that. I mean, that is what is going to be, make our community vibrant. It's going to create places, jobs, opportunities for our grandkids. I just don't think anything's more important than that. And I'm not diminishing the idea of taking care of stormwater, safety, fire. I'm not diminishing that at all. But growth, sensible growth is important. And it brings, like the arts that we have in this community, it brings excitement and it brings vibrancy. And frankly, it brings it attracts a lot of productive, intelligent people from around the country. So I think we need to really, really emphasize that. And on a lighter note, I had the chance to attend the festival, fall festival at the sports complex. And we had a Halloween costume judging contest, and it was magnificent. And I would highly recommend attending next year's fall festival. And thanks to Rob for doing that, and thanks to Stephanie for the Economic Summit.
Attaboy to Rob Salazar, again, putting on a great fall festival on behalf of the city. That's great. And echo Commissioner Ashley's comment. We've had Ben Bartlett here. I've got him willing to come back at the manager's convenience to come back and give that presentation again on the public record, be on the tape, which is really, really good. He's perfected that. And then, if you remember right, they took up at our Economic Summit, they took up the issue of how to get video snippets out to the public on a regular basis. So I think you're going to see some action move on that for sure. On a more solemn note, an icon of our city staff from years ago, Nancy Maddox, her mother, Miso Beckert, has passed at 95 years old. She's a New Smyrna Beach resident. And for those of you who know the Maddox family, Mrs. Beckett had been active until the very end, so she passed last evening. Similarly, Barb Travis, 81-year-old wife of Jack Travis, who is the mainstay of our Habitat for Humanity effort here in town and was the Citizen of the Year last year. Barb has passed as well. So those are community people that have made their mark on our society and on our hearts. So our thoughts are with their families. This afternoon at 4:15 in the afternoon at the Brandon Center was a full house to listen to Jessica Fentress and the team of folks talk about beach restoration. And so if you missed that, I think it was recorded. I think they'll do it again. And it's really good because it talks about every city and it focuses on New Smyrna about what the options are and how they came up with the conclusions of what to do to preserve our beaches from eroding over and over again. So a very powerful presentation. I've talked to Ms. Fentress. She will come and talk with us at a city commission meeting in the near future. And I might remark that at 4:15 in the afternoon, the room was full. So people that want to come to meetings like this and meetings like that, they do turn out even at the 4:15 hour of the afternoon. The 100th anniversary of the Board of Realtors was a wonderful event at one of our local restaurants, and the crowd was amazing of who was there. What a great accomplishment that we have a 100-year-old institution right here in our beautiful city. So my hat's off to Austin Musgrove for putting that on. It was an amazing effort and very, very well done. The Canaveral National Seashore is closed. And so until the federal government opens back up, we need to be mindful that you don't need to go to the Canaveral National Seashore. The police force down there is operating, and they will apprehend you if you bust over the wall or bust through the gate. I've talked with Superintendent Thompson, and she implores our citizenry to please stay out of the Canaveral National Seashore until it opens back up. Going to set our clocks back this weekend. Please remember to set your clock back. The manager and I have talked about something that you heard from the ACA tonight about an Arts Forward NSB Arts Forward. And that'll be an event on the 18th at the Brandon Center, likely 6 o'clock. They'll get the advertising. But it'll include art authority from each of our main units around town, each of the organizations, the Hub, Jane's, Arts on Douglas, ACA, Artist Workshop, Little Theater, and many others will be up there to discuss how they cooperate to make art possible. Cultural art, performing arts, physical art, and so it's a first opportunity we'll have to get all those groups together to talk about where they're headed and what they're going to do to continue our art forward nature of this town. Lastly, Veterans Day is upon us soon, the 11th hour, the 11th day of the 11th month. Director Salazar informs me he's put together quite a program inside the Brandon Center. So please turn out, please come and enjoy a variety of speakers, a variety of vocal and musical groups, and celebrate the veterans who are alive and well today and who have served our country. Madam City Clerk, any follow-up items?
Yes, just one. So with our upcoming special election, the City of New Smyrna Beach needs to convene a canvassing board. So per the charter, the canvassing board consists of myself, the city clerk, and 2 members of the commission. On an election cycle, the 2 members of commission are the seats who are not up for that election. So for 2026, the election cycle, the 2 members who will participate in the canvassing board will be Zone 3 Commissioner Girk and Zone 4 Commissioner Ashley. So for tonight, we need to have a discussion about who will serve on the canvassing board for the special election November 4th, along with myself. We need 2 members of commission.
I'll do it.
Commissioner McGurk, there's one, you need 2?
I need 2.
I'll do it. I'll do it.
Okay, Commissioner Martin will serve as well.
Awesome, thank you. And that's all that I have for tonight.
Thank you, ma'am, appreciate that. Madam City Attorney.
Yes, I just wanted to follow up on what Commissioner Perrine was saying about falsehoods that are being published on social media. There's one in particular that needs to be addressed, which is there's some insinuation that our commission has violated the Sunshine Law and public records related to conversations with state representatives or their aides. The Sunshine Law applies to 2 or more members of the same body. You are absolutely free as an individual to go talk to another member of a body. So there's no notice required, no minutes need to be taken if you elect to go to speak to your state representative or his or her aide. The second thing regarding public records, there's no obligation to create a public record based on those conversations. When the public record request is made, we respond if there are documents available. If there are none, there are none. And that is not a public records violation to have a conversation and not document it if it's not with a member of your board, which we all know we would not do on any matter that would foreseeably come before this board for consideration. Thank you.
So I've got a couple, and I'll go to Commissioner Perrine. Mr. City Manager, this is not the first of many other mistruths that have gone out over the wire. Now, while many will hear Carrie's voice, at least 16,000 people heard this pitch that was given days ago.
So we will be taking action tomorrow with a written to the poster.
Yeah.
To correct that or have it removed.
Yeah,
so
really
that
good.
will be addressed.
Love that, love that. Where I'm going is toward a process of, is there room in your team with your 2 PIOs to do something that is of a monitoring nature across the social media? I think social media today is akin to the newspapers in the 50s and the 60s. Everybody read the newspaper. Today, everybody's on social media, and there is no fact-checking as there was in the newspaper days. So I'm concerned that the staff gets berated and the commission gets berated, and the attorney makes sure that we don't get out of line by making sure we issue statements that says this does not represent the city of New Smyrna Beach, and we do that, and we stay inside the bounds. But that doesn't prevent those that would do us harm or those that would want to forward their own personal agendas of slime, and deception to go out there. So maybe one of the 2 PIOs could monitor that. We've done that in commercial industry in 2 places I've been before, and maybe there's a process where where they can just right the ship. I'm not looking to get into a debate back and forth of, oh, that was wrong, that was right. Just somebody to come in and set the record straight. Hey, this is the truth, just like Carrie just did. And maybe that is a function in the 21st century that we ought to consider going forward. Just in my head, I'm not making a direction, just asking your thoughts on that, sir.
Well, I'm happy to explore that further. There's, there's a lot of debate on how we should handle social media. There's a lot that's been written about it, and the general thought process is, once you start engaging like that, it just perpetuates the argument and it becomes bigger and bigger. We will clarify, and they will come back and say your clarification is wrong, and it will all start over again. So, but we're happy to, if the direction from the commission is that you want us to engage on social media, we can do that. I'm not convinced it will have the desired impact, but what the city attorney mentioned today is certainly something that's egregious that I think we need to follow up on, and we do plan to follow up on. A lot of what we see is just people sharing their thoughts, their opinions, and their spin on things, and we can respond. We can do that if that's the direction you want us to go.
Follow up.
So I'm ready to start getting my own attorney and going after these people. I don't know what I need to do, but I'm sick of it. I'm sick of my last year in office to be having to defend myself. And it's ridiculous. And to read up there that we don't care about people flooding, and I know that is just an opinion, but when they start calling me names, calling me a bully, and calling me all kinds of stuff that people that know me know that's the last thing on earth that I am, and I'm just really over it. And I don't know what you can help before I take action, but I already have people looking into these people that are making these comments. The one, the growth guy, that said that we did lies up here because he pulled public records wanting to know that if we talk to our congressman, that needs to go out. This is ridiculous. He's posting that in Venetian Bay. 16,000 people looked at that already. If you don't think that's damaging, then I don't know what is, but I'm really tired of it.
Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate that. Anything more from the city attorney?
Nothing else.
Okay. Hey, just, by the way, I've checked in with the supervisor of elections. The bill looks like for the special election coming in $20,000 or less for the total operation. So hats off. Yeah, hats off to the supervisor election staff, Lisa Lewis and their staff, for making it economical for us. Mr. Manager.
Can we get that printed so that people saying $50,000 and spent unwisely gets that retracted immediately?
Sir, 20,000.
Your comments, sir.
That's the problem.
I don't have anything else, sir. I don't.
Okay.
Don't think. Thank you.
Good enough. Okay. Any follow-up? Any reapproaches? Thank you. We're adjourned.